I can still twerk. Will this
person be able to represent my company? Social media, posted with
But Twitter, Facebook, because this has always been beyond me.
William to the last, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Third Opinion. Thank you for watching, subscribing. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to comment. We appreciate the feedback. And I'm here with
You are with Mr. Orsen, the guy with the soprano. Thank you so much for the feedback. Like what Lala said, I guess he said everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Guys, we need views. Go YouTube. We are there. And we are with the thorn amongst the roses.
When did I become a thorn?
Do you think I changed?
I mean,
you know what? Oh my god. Hi, welcome back to Third Opinion, guys. My name is Shaz. I am the rose amongst the thorns.
Hey, so today you are allowed to label yourself. Oh, I don't label myself. My friend says we shouldn't label ourselves.
So today we're talking personal branding. I get recheck and not place out a negative character out there. I was discussing with just because you're sitting at a table dining with a few friends and you're forever complaining about boss when I know half past 4 wa chaisa your pay, you've been working your ass off. You're forever finding something to complain about. There's never anything that you bring to the table that is positive about where you work. And then this same attitude and character, if an opportunity arises, then we unable to recommend you, especially if it's in our environment. Hey, if it's in our environment, no, we can't. The opportunity to pass easy. Le Facebook.
Yeah.
Hey, but
I created a new account.
Well, I do understand what you're saying. Like, I think personal branding in all aspects is very, very important. Like, how you carry yourself around people, even not around people, around spaces that people have access to, whether it's on the internet, whether you are in a movie, not in a movie, like in a video, like Nagidira the video and other things. So people read into those things, even though this doesn't represent me. No, people do take those things into consideration. I think it's very important that how we portray ourselves can have an impact on the in the next in the next coming years or in your journey of life.
I think it's a very like tricky balance between, because I say this all the time, but I think spaces like social media are the one space where people are able to express, I guess, their personal politics. Again, I'm always talking about how I think we all have our own personal politics, but this is what I believe in, blah, 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 blah. And, these are the things then how you would express when you're online or whatever. But like Sharon is saying, if you're not careful about how you present it and when you share this, it comes back to bite you. But I think it's also respecting that space. I think it also even goes back to like sometimes when you go in for, when you're going for maybe a job interview, in a job application, they provide your social media handles. Yeah. To be honest, sometimes I feel like that's very invasive. Some jobs do that. And I personally will feel like, that's very invasive. If you maybe to tell the honest truth, LinkedIn, as an employer, what you need to look at is my LinkedIn.
This has always been beyond me. And the painful thing is,
I think this is
you
where
can
the
still
thing
be
is,
a CEO and you can still twerk. We've lived thinking that, but
Right, that's the
unfortunately,
thing. I think that's the problem. A lot
unfortunately,
of
it
times
doesn't
people
no
don't.
longer.
Listen,
Yeah, people don't divorce that. They don't want to divorce the you that they see on that space
I know.
with the work you.
You
I
do.
can still twerk.
Mm.
E be ke phaka like ke tsogela sentle ke ya tirong ke a go ira tiro e ke e hiretsweng. Ga gore seng.
I think first of all, we need to understand that like now social media has really changed. Like it's not social anymore. It's more like your personal blog, your personal that little something that will add to the CV. I do understand when you say like people need to understand whether there's a person you've got a personal life and a professional life. That's something that I always try to keep different. That's why that's why I don't use like my passport names in my social media platforms, because I don't want ha ke le ko tirong ke apply-ile ke re ke nna Michael Massimo something. First thing that they're going to do, they're going to go on the internet. So when they go there on the internet and they search, ba bona gore, "Ow, mekana ke yo motho wa thweka na ariana." At the same time, I also don't blame them, because ba kgona go ipotsa gore what kind of conversation can this person hold? Will this person be able to represent my company? E le gore ke motho wa arogana mo social media, o posta dilo tsa batho ba sa apara. You are so kind of when you work in an organization, your brand as your personal brand is also associated with that company brand. I think that's why now it's very important whatever that you're gonna put out there, you need to know tiro yang go e bereka itilo go nyalana le se e leng gore wa se dira. I try by all means. I've tried, but now
You represent us wherever you are.
wherever
You are the brand.
I tried not to keep my arts side, to give it my videos and other things from it worked for a long time in whichever place that I worked in. But now things have changed. People have found
when
me
you became a celebrity on TikTok.
So like I've managed to keep that away from them for 5 to 6 years here in Thailand. Only when I joined TikTok like in March. Now they found me because like my stuff is already like pushed to them. So they know this other side, but it's not a damaging side, because I'm not doing anything that is obscene or anything selling
a negative.
See the value the company. So Lala will conversations like Twitter conversations, but it's also like the conversation that we have mouth to mouth. Those are literally gonna be there forever. So hello sometimes you want to have a conversation very aggressive. It's better like face to face, or from there I don't know if I make sense.
I don't know.
Like when
This is us no longer communicating with other people on social media platforms because we're now afraid.
Honestly.
Why are you posting
if I want to disagree with something and I want to engage Laone, I want to engage that other friend of mine who's on Facebook, I want to engage this other person I know. I want other people's opinions.
But
so I can't do that because
there's a different way
I'm
you
afraid...
express yourself. No, there's a different way that you express yourself. Sometimes when I get on my statuses and the obscene words, sweetie, I don't use that vocabulary, but we can have a discussion using proper language clean. So some people let's say ke ha example and not let's say go motho a bua maswe ka president a bua mahoko a dirisa mahoko a se siama, but la one wena o bota ka gore your intellectual whatever o le gore we ala ka mahoko a leng gore a pepper
in a proper manner.
The message wa goroga. I think that's one thing that people need to learn. You can express yourself in
I think that's where the line is. I think it's perfectly fine to be online and say criticize the government, criticize your member of parliament or whatever. But I think it's the way that you do it in. About you can maybe once in a while just say, sometimes we're required to put in more hours than I would prefer. I guess we can didn't give out but as opposed to hey I
don't know. I think I would.
But then I've also been in a position where people had submitted a CV, right? And then there's this one outstanding CV that I I had my eyes on. So when I presented it, the next person that was part of the panel, decide on
the selecting panel.
So Abare, no, we can't. Looking at the hobbies this person has, we can't have an activist here because ke motho ba ka tshwa manganga ha ke rana le motho ka nnang hela ntsa ngangile hela all the time. So no matter how you put it, there's a way it's still going to come back and bite you on the ass.
Well,
I don't know. I think it also creates. It's one of those. Like, how to get matatake finding the balance because I think it once again goes back to your personal politics because I'm an activist and it doesn't mean gore kana ka bo ke le mo distrating doing put out opinion pieces or whatever. Hey, it might just be gore, when I see somebody being wronged, I won't shy away from approaching the wrongdoer and saying, Sharon, ha ke wa re theogele for 3 days non-stop overtime. It's not fair. Or whatever it is. That also in itself is a form of activism. But even then, yes, it's good. With this one job, because there's this assumption, but also it might also means they will appreciate that about him and maybe encourage this person to explore that about themselves.
Yeah, they will have that one place they will appreciate them. But I'm just trying to show you what. Still, no matter what we do on social media, no matter how mellow you can be, at the same way I've turned around and I'm trying to be mellow. Awesome. It begins during an entire month, and I posted it the first day I wanted to post it. It'll come out in a very aggressive way. That's an article like, oh man. But then because I then try to look for the right words to put it in and then post it. It's still a negative post, but in a mellow manner. Somebody else should come and read it.
Because that person the fact that we know Sharon, we know her attitude, we know her character. When she posts something like this, akirwa ubala we the Sharon that you know. But moto mongata bala ubala ka a different tone. Natabare moto unzana.
But
so I understand.
That's the other thing.
I understand how we are no recommendile moto and then ebe basa bar moto abake ba motsa. Sometimes yes, maybe our strengths they are hindered because maybe that organization doesn't want an activist because they probably know that things that they're doing the unethical.
They would rather people didn't know about.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to avoid and then you know, these are you know those things. And then Sharon, you at the beginning.
Yo, Brenda was a line
like at the beginning. Hey. Like at the beginning, Sharon, you mentioned complain of course, Nyla as an individual, I will not work with that kind of person. I will not align myself with that kind of person. Yes, it's okay. If you're not happy, you're not satisfied. There should be ways that you can communicate or
there are platforms to share this out.
You know, and then again, like you're in a crowd, you're drinking lemajita and next thing no. You can have those conversations with your friends. Have with a friend, like in a way
privately.
In a way
Oh my God, it's so hot,
your
guys.
journey. Motho a teng a itse your journey through when you started. But Austin, I know you are a very, active person. You are respectful. I can see something is not right. You are not happy. But
Have we
But
got you?
it's still okay to complain. Just that I think it also brings us back to when you say it depends on how you lay
you
it
present
out.
yourself. Yeah.
How it's an no similar Ruhana, only by a local boss is your superior, just because boss of high who
Hey.
these people that are listening to you, so if I'm to hire this person and they're going to work under me, are they going to do the same again?
You know?
And I think it also says more like even when people consider maybe if somebody's been offered another job or they think you're breaking out and starting their own
sabotage.
company. What about no, you are so you know how people when people break out and start their own companies, the typical thing is people will start by picking from the organization that they're working at. They headhunt from there.
Yes.
And if you might be really good at your job, but if you're the person who's always talking shit about your boss, it have been
Your attitude.
this one probably.
This is somebody I cannot work with.
Your
But I think it also extends to, I know it's mildly high, but do you think it also extends even to your personal life, like boom
It does.
of course.
because all you do is talk about hey it's just like so
Hey, you trash talk. You complain about everything. I think like imagine you are with that person and then associate with that. Sharon na complain hell. People are going to be afraid to be around me because God, hey, probably the
Hey.
the same person.
or
You know-
have a network meeting let's meet about Sharon, I'm not around. Like it's also important that we align ourselves they're gonna build us, they're gonna add on to like our personal brands that will carry on our business aspect, our school aspect, our professional aspect, whatever other aspect of your being.
People who help you
But you know what? I have friends that also I've explained this to them that I can go for corporate functions with. And then I have friends that I can go drinking and clubbing with. And then there are friends that I do not want when I'm with certain company because of the things they're capable of saying.
Verbal diarrhea. Verbal diarrhea. I mean, are they
And
friends
then
or
now,
they're just people
I'm the
around
honest
you?
one. I'll tell you, no, this is my boss's friend. We're doing a corporate function. I can't have you there because I'm afraid 1, 2, 3, and this is my job. This is my job on the line. Unfortunately, but so it's got to tickets are made in the line.
I honestly, I have honestly tried to avoid bringing friends to my workplace. Not that I don't trust them or whatever. Like I've separated my personal life with my professional life, and I've done that for so many years, and I like it to be that way. I'll just go to that function, maybe alone. It happened just once or twice. Even here in Thailand, it doesn't even happen because it's just us, my teacher, with that event thing, and then we just go out and meet our friends.
I get it it's for advertising.
Well, yeah.
Trying to get the word out there. So you are actually asked to bring people in order for people to start talking about whatever brand you're going to be launching.
So quick question, guys. If you were an employer, what kind of person or what kind of attributes would you look for besides the CV itself? Attributes you will hire this person.
Not to be honest with you, I've held interviews, Auburn. The CV, I think because I've done this because I know my weakness. Well, my CV is pretty. It's gorgeous. But when I go into interview, I don't know, somehow I just kind of lose it. So, but I try.
It, Sharon.
Pardon?
What do you mean lose
like
it?
You can't sell yourself?
Like. I have no idea what happens, and I've asked for feedback from people that are the few people that have interviewed me,
Interviewed you.
because I haven't gone to a lot of interviews,
Mm.
but mostly Nebari, I did well. Go to hella, probably I liked Hongwe. I remember there was one in what I like a qualification in IT.
Mm.
But one more kind of feel these people didn't get the me. Waban.
They
So
didn't get me.
yeah, so sometimes I really try not to really look at the CV also, and try and engage this person, have a chat away from your normal questions, Sabo. So what
Tell
are
me
you
about
bringing?
yourself.
Tell me
Yeah.
about yourself.
I hate that
Good.
question
Have a
with
proper
passion.
conversation like we're having coffee. This is when o kgonang to get the person you're gonna hire.
Mm.
That
I
kind
think
of
for
feel.
me, I've been on a few interview panels, and I think one thing that immediately draws, like having been on both sides of the table, I think if you're able to be confident and, like you're saying, if you're able to keep the conversation going, almost as if it's a conversation and not how do we do
Gone-
an
Ekare wa
An
interrogation.
interrogate, yeah.
interrogation. Thank
As long
you.
as they keep it from being an interrogation, and you're able to respond to the questions and also add in Luana as a person. Good, like this guy. So would you work on weekends, for example?
Duh, I'm gonna
About
say yes.
yes. Obori yes, o bo e tlogela ho. Ha re e londolotse gone mo.
Hey.
Yes, na di weekend ke a di tshwara ba gaetso. Le kone ke tswa teng, a weekend ga se sepe mo gone. But also in the same respect, like don't oversell it. Ubi abo.
Well,
Ke ra na go
exaggerate.
weekend ha ke sa bere ka ke re
Kana
sepe,
mo
ke a bo ke ntse
gore le
hela.
babalatseng sere ke kgona go goroga.
So
Hey, that's where I mean your personal branding also needs check. Uska simolola tlhalabo na le baba la sa ha ntshwere ke atla hela mo teng. No.
well,
No,
so
Patrick, don't tell us that
I
one.
guess what like
But
okay, continue.
but I think for me, the one thing that I think I always look out for in the confidence, because like if you're confident, you're also also even able to handle the way a lot of confident people handle crisis. Because for me, a big thing is crisis is like if you're unable to do crisis management, yeah, no, because for
True.
me, if you're unable to do crisis management, it also says you don't have leadership potential, so there's no growth potential for you in the organization. So how that only to clean, that's all you're going to be, and you're going to work here for 20 years and still be
Still
motho
cleaning.
because we don't
Yeah.
see you. Ga se we ka reng gote motho a araba mogala ga yo be le re a sa la tshwere di phone ho, because o ta ba tshwile hela ha line di le 3 wa panic. But because the thing is, you can actually see leadership in a lot of weird ways. Anyway, I'm getting out of track. But for
Yes.
me, that's the thing that I look out for.
Well,
But that's the thing that I look out for. And happy with the confidence also, you're able to know this person, if and they don't appreciate 1, 2, 3, they'll be able to approach it well.
yeah.
You know, address it.
How about none
You're never
of
be a kind of way, ka huta ko dinageng gote Sharon are no lepse ke gore boss a go ya,
In Naira
and
1,
me
2,
Sharon
3.
na sa bua mo tirong.
Well,
you know.
I do. So I guess like your traits like wielded confidence and Sharon Lane, like be someone able to communicate to have good interpersonal skills before your qualifications.
Yes.
Now I think like I didn't do a lot of interviews go Botswana. My first, I think my second interview I got the job. My first was just for someone Helena gets her piece job, and then it gets an internship, and then the other one is I did an interview, and then apparently I came second, and then the other person got that department left, and then it was one after Mutona and BT for that position. So they beat me on that position, and like yes, they had experience in that department, but apparently we were neck to neck about it. And I think now, not that I'm not that you know, I think now my personality has always helped me because when I get
Same
there,
here.
when I get there, I just like whatever happens. And in Thailand, that has really worked well for me. Every interview that I've gone to, I've got the job like on the spot, or the guy to come and work. which of course they do. They do it that way. As a teacher, personality important. They want communicate with the students. Now, as an employer, I would want someone who wa bua. Not for ba senya, but balabalang. Because someone who talks a lot into how do we say? Oh, interact well. You know how to ask him or her to tone it down a little. Or they can communicate issues. They know how they will be able to do those things, adding to the confidence that you had just talked about. All right, so that's what I will look
remember,
into.
I'd also say, I think I've heard a couple of people. I also believe in the saying, higher attitude you can train later.
You can train it, yes. Kana ko skolong rituwa dibuka. But got the wrong, you literally have to do it. There are people who are able to
absolutely. I can there's this one,
You can never teach somebody attitude.
Never.
But also, like, I think how we are about personal branding and leaditiro. Even bosses need to know their attitude.
Boss. 1 minute more.
As an employer.
No,
because you know how like what you're saying, higher attitude and you can train later. There's this one that has always stuck with me, and this is something that I thought about when I left my first job. People don't leave jobs, they leave bosses.
Their managers.
Yeah.
Hey, they leave managers or they leave bosses.
I think
so. It's a big part of that. Is your attitude as a manager or as an employer. If you have a stank attitude,
another day. It's very true.
Yeah, attitude like boss.
Right now, if you're watching right now, you, Lala, and Shares, you are probably gonna be bosses, or you're already bosses wherever that you are. You need to know that your attitude will affect someone's future. Depression because of how you treat them.
Yeah.
Now,
I know is the feedback I've been given from my previous employer is that I'm like the coolest boss ever.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, you all have 15 seconds to say something about personal branding. If you're going to give advice, I'll start with Lala.
I think it's really important to be mindful of the spaces that you interact with and, of course, the content that you put on those spaces. But also, it's also important at the same time to be truthful to yourself. So whatever it is that you put out there, be sure that it's something that you can stand for, that you defend, because you don't want to also put out something saying and then you said this. I'm not that person. Be something saying you can confidently say, and that's what I said.
Yeah, I said what I said. Shares.
It is what it is.
Being a very opinionated person, it's very difficult for you to stick to trying to be like a good, because there's no good or bad to it. But always remember that the character that you present, whether on social media, whether at the dinner table, or whether with friends, will affect your mjolo. It will affect your career. People will not recommend you because some of us are buasham and we stick to what we say. So there are people that don't want that strong personality. If you can avoid it, avoid it. If you can't, then just know you will live with your consequences.
Okay, adding on what you both have said, Sharon, if you're very opinionative, I think opinionative, is it the word? Yeah, so yes. Make sure. I think people who have opinions, I think practice find ways that you can present yourself so that you're not you don't come across as being rude. Like you said, Sharon, like it took you a while, a couple of days ago, to come up with the status. Had you just put it out there immediately, you could have angered a whole lot of people. So we should be mindful of what we're going to say, and we should know in the future it's going to come for us. Lala also mentioned a very important case. You should be able to. But yes, I said that because Nikki believer in those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was not there to insult anybody. So I have nothing else to say because you guys have said enough. And then if you have anything that you want to share, you want to contribute on this topic, please leave it on the comment. Tell us your situation.
Yes.
Oh, can I say one last thing? Also, one last thing, and it's very short. Happy. Don't let those people that cheer you on things that are negative make you feel like you're a hero. Those people will not hire you. Amen.
Experience, girl. Yes, thank you
Yes.
so much, guys. Protect
Thank you for watching.
Protect your personal brand. Every day you move, you are presenting yourself in different aspects. It might not be a job. It might be you being friends with other people. It might be you, you know, you represent yourself with every stride. So take care, everybody, and have a very lovely, lovely weekend. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely weekend. It's Tuesday.
A lovely week. Get locked down.
William to the last, one side, yeah.